I should have set this up before I went live. Nothing I have is heavy enough. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hello, I'm gonna wait until people get in here because I was checking to make sure that the video saved after I went live, because I've never done this before. So I wanted to make sure that the video saved after I went live, if that makes sense. So hello, can I see your comments? Can I see your comments this way? Oh, the orientation has been locked. Not an option. All right, so story time. So I went to school at Arizona State University. Oh, I see a comment. Okay, cool. So I went to school at Arizona State University. I need to make sure my boobs don't pop out. Arizona State. And I lived in this apartment. There was 2 single bedrooms, and there was a bedroom that I shared with this girl. And I knew 2 of the girls from freshman year of college. Like, we had been roommates together freshman year of college. And then the other girl I was paired with when we lived in this apartment. It was kind of like an apartment, but it was still part of ASU's campus. So that you still had to follow all the rules of ASU. It basically was a dorm. It was basically a dorm. So that was the year that I started smoking weed. And me and this girl that I had just met, I don't know if she wants me to say her name in this video. Anyways, so, you know, my new friend, we started smoking weed. We would smoke it in her bedroom, mostly when they weren't home. And instead of telling us that they didn't want us to smoke weed in the house, one day, one of the girls left. And while she was gone, it was me, it was this girl, and it was a bunch of like my guy friends from college. I had just sold someone some mushrooms, and she goes downstairs, and then there's a knock at the door, and it is our roommate with the police standing at the door. And the police officer is like, we just had a report that there was a drug deal going on the premises. And me and my friend that smoke weed together, we were like, what the fuck? And she runs into her bedroom where like all the weed is, the bong is, and all that stuff. And we had been drinking all day. So we had been drinking all day. I still have a bunch of mushrooms on me in my bedroom. So she's in her bedroom, she locks the door, and I'm in my bathing suit because we had been partying at the pool. And I go up to one of the cops and I'm like, can I please change out of my bathing suit? Like, I feel so uncomfortable standing here. And then then I'm like, please, you're not gonna have to watch me like change, right? Like, I'm so modest. And I'm like, please you don't have to watch me change, right? He's like, no, you can go into your room or whatever. So I go into my room and I immediately just get the mushrooms that I have and I flush them down the toilet. And as soon as I flush the toilet, he like looks in there. And the cop looks into the bedroom and I was like, oh, sorry. Like, I didn't even say anything. I'm just like getting ready, but he knew what was going on. So the other roommate who smokes weed was like going crazy on the girl who called the cops on us, because obviously that's so fucked up. Like, who does that? Who does that? And she was like a crazy drinker, partier. Like, she would trash the place all the time from drinking too much. So for the fact that she called the cops on us for smoking weed was just mind-blowing. This was like back in 2009, so it was still like a socially acceptable thing to call the police on someone for smoking weed. So my one roommate that also smoked weed with me, she ended up going fucking crazy and getting so mad at the roommate. Like, she spit on her, so she got an assault charge for doing that. I had called my uncle, who was a police officer, and I was like, told him what was going on, and he told me that they're gonna find whatever you have in your apartment. So that's why I knew I had to flush those mushrooms. And you know what is fucked up? You know what the cops ended up finding in my bedroom? They ended up finding an empty mason jar with marijuana residue on the inside. There wasn't even anything inside of it. It was like residue of marijuana and like a can of light beer or something. So it was bullshit. The cops came back the next day and they were pretending like they were like my buddy. They were like, oh, what's up? And then they were like, oh yeah, by the way, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, blah, blah, blah. So, and then they started asking me questions and I was like, bitch, I'm not saying anything to you without a lawyer. So I had to be fucking handcuffed, taken in the back of a police car, which was like fucking solid plastic. So I'm like sliding from side to side. It's like made of solid plastic, fingerprinted, whatever. I ended up just like having to take a class about weed. It was like an online ASU class about weed. Lucky me. And I think I had to take a therapy class or something like that. But whenever I saw the girl who called the cops on us the next time, it was like maybe like a year later on campus. I like started to everybody, I was like, hey, this girl, she called the cops on me for smoking weed in my apartment. She's a bitch. My dogs are here. Jimmy, hi. Look at me, I put a face on. Wow. Look at me, I put a face on. Look at me, I put a face on. Wow. When I go, ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. So that's my story. This is my doggy. His name's Sammy, in case you didn't already know. He's the best. Look at him. We'll give him, watch, sit, ready, stay. 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 Here, stay, up. Ha, 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 ha. He's the best. Oh, really? You want to play? Ready? Up. 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 Okay, so that video's over, but I'm going to try and do more lives on here because this is a cool format. It'll just save to YouTube because I've been wanting to make more YouTube videos. This is easy. So I hope you enjoyed that story time. I have a lot of crazy stories, so... And no, my outfit's not on inside out. It's just the way it looks. I didn't know that when I purchased it. Thank you, vampire. I am also a vampire. See? Oh, I need to go floss. I'm gonna go floss and brush my teeth. Love you guys. Have a good night. Have sweet dreams. Puppy. Wow. Good night.